First Merchants Bank. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper.
Put it in the upper right-hand corner, just like a postage stamp. That's a good bingo.
Get ready to learn more about the Columbus Blue Jackets players and coaches, as well as find out what's going on this week in the NHL. Now let's join Bob McElligott and Jody Shelley for the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank.
Puck is cleared back through the neutral zone. Chinikov has it. Plays it over to Sean Monahan with a shot save made. Rebound! Score! Sean Monahan got two kicks at the can, and the second one was good for a goal. And the Blue Jackets once again lead. It is 2-1. Sean Monahan, after fist bumping his teammates on the bench, just kissed the glove and pointed up to that number 13 banner hanging from the rafters here at Nationwide Arena. He actually pointed to it right away when he got up, then he pointed again.
Sean Monahan with a big goal for the Blue Jackets last night. Unfortunately, it didn't get the Blue Jackets to win, but at that time it put them ahead, and it sure put a lot of emotion in the building as Sean Monahan pointed up at that Johnny Gaudreau banner that had been hung during a very, very solemn opening to last night's home opener for the Blue Jackets. But what a night it was here at Nationwide Arena. The Florida Panthers won the game 4-3. The Blue Jackets did not go down without a fight. Welcome to the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott. Jody Shelley is out tonight. As we like to say in the business, he's on assignment, which means that he's somewhere doing a game on TNT.
What is he, Walter Cronkite?
He is. Actually, he's anything but Walter Cronkite.
That's true, yes.
Steve Mears is in for Jody Shelley. So, Jody couldn't be here, so I thought, well, who sits right next to Jody? Steve Mears on Bally Sports. So let's bring him in. So, Steve, welcome to your first ever Inside Edge, and I appreciate you volunteering to take the time to sit with me today.
This is a blast. What a cool room. You got some books over here, some Blue Jacket gear, and a great spot for a podcast. I mean, everybody on Earth has a podcast right now, so why don't we have our own show? How long is this show? 4 hours? Is that 12 or what?
Yeah, it's 4 hours over the course of 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Well, we got a lot planned, and we got a lot to discuss. I mean, you said it. It's so emotional in the aftermath, just coming home and thinking about what we witnessed there. And also, just for the Blue Jackets, you just wanted to see an inspired effort, right? And we got that with the way that they played, the inspired effort by Sean Monahan. And that's the word that I keep coming back to, because Johnny Gaudreau, the way he played hockey was inspirational. As this little guy who was a late draft pick, and everybody said wasn't going to play college hockey, he did that. He started at the World Juniors. Not only does he make it to the NHL, but he becomes a superstar. It's inspirational. So to think back and all the different moments last night, the one that really got to me was the pre-game video up on the scoreboard. It was set to some country music and this montage of photos, and especially as a new dad, and I know you're a proud dad as well, it hits differently. It just hits differently, and it was just so unbelievably emotional. And then just try to flip the lights on, and then, in our case, try to talk and do a broadcast. In the players' case, just to get going on an NHL hockey game, it had to be incredibly difficult, but just first-class production by the entire Blue Jackets organization, and I know it's getting a lot of feedback around the hockey world.
Yeah, it is, and rightfully so. And you're right. And I didn't know what to expect. I was talking with Sean Corrali about this the day before in the dressing room, and we were talking about you really didn't know what to expect. And I'm talking about how are you going to feel yourself, right? I look back to the candlelight vigil that we had, and that was so very emotional. And then you play games, and you don't move past it, but you kind of move it aside because you got to work. And you see the preseason celebrations, and that's one thing, but you don't have the same group there. It kind of hit me in Minnesota, to be honest, when they played the video and the players backed off the blue line so they could watch it, because to me it was the real group that was there for the first time. But what I want to ask you is, like, you came here in July, and you came here thinking you're going to call a lot of Johnny Gaudreau goals as a member of the Blue Jackets, and now obviously that's not happening. But coming in from the outside and having seen him play and known him a little bit, how did you feel about the entire thing? How did it hit you?
Well, it hit me just like it did everybody, just the shock, which still is there. I mean, So I don't think that's any different just because I'm new. And obviously I had the relationship just like from an outside broadcast player relationship. And Johnny Gaudreau came and visited us at NHL Network, did his World Junior games. So had that type of relationship, obviously not as close as you or anybody with the Blue Jackets organization who covered him on a day-to-day basis. But one thing I did see as someone coming in from the outside is to watch the community rally and support each other and the team leaning on the community and the fans, and to see that makeshift memorial almost instantly after the tragedy happened. And then I think it was the Saturday afterward, my wife and I went downtown for dinner, and we said we have to stop by Nationwide and to take a look at that. And to me, that was the most overwhelming moment of those early stages, to sign the sign and to see the Gatorade and the Skittles and the sticks and the jerseys and fans walking up, and the tears in their eyes and immediately tears in our eyes, my wife and I, when we just stood there. And I proudly signed that sign and just said, thanks, Johnny, especially just thinking back to the World Juniors. I mean, he made me look good because he scored 7 goals in 7 games. They won the gold medal. It was like really the first time I was on TV doing a game in that tournament there, 2013 World Junior. And I'll always be appreciative of that and that team and that opportunity. And then to see those items outside the building, and now also to know that they're here in the main concourse, and fans can pay tribute when they come to games at Nationwide this season, that really hits home. And then the ceremony takes place, and as I mentioned, there's the pre video, and then the 5-minute tribute video. It was hard. It was hard to get through. Tears in the eyes, which is what we expected, but also some smiles along the way when you think about some funny moments, and the fact that Guy Gaudreau in practice purposely missed the shot so that the guys had to skate 3 times in the game that they play, which I didn't realize they've been doing that all throughout training camp. It was a tribute to Johnny. It's 1 lap or 3 laps, 1-3 for Johnny. So, I love everything that the team has done. And we've had to do this together. That's the question we've been asking. How do we turn to a hockey game or a hockey season? And the answer is we do it together. And that's fans, organization, and with the support of the entire hockey community around the world.
Yeah, and it's a good point that you make. And I want to acknowledge the people that have been planning for weeks on end to put on that ceremony and that tribute to the Gaudreau brothers and to their family last night. It was a terrific job, and I know there are a lot of people involved in it, and so not to single anybody out, but our game ops people did a fantastic job.
Yes,
the video was, the video to me, what made it so hard to watch, or what made it tear at your heartstrings, was it was Johnny Gaudreau doing the speaking and telling his story, and it was amazing. So all of those people that have spent weeks on end planning, not just last night, but every event that's been done, how the banner's going to look, how the lapel pins are going to look, and the patch on the jersey, everything. Thanks for everything that you guys have all done, because you guys and girls have just knocked it out of the park with us.
No question. And I also noticed, and I think people also noticed, that the tenor of the videos and the music that was played was a little more upbeat than you might have thought, and that was by design. That's Meredith Gaudreau. She didn't want any sad music. She talked about like getting back to what Johnny loved, playing hockey and having a great night in her video, which was also a very emotional part of the entire evening. And so that's what they wanted. They wanted a tribute to Johnny and Matthew, a celebration of 2 wonderful people, and that's what it was. The 13 seconds off the clock and the vacated left wing position. I mean, that has made the rounds on social media, and everyone in the hockey world seeing that and just blown away by that powerful moment. And then you drop the puck, and the Blue Jackets, as I said, they didn't get the result. I thought for sure it was like storybook, like you got to tie it up and they're going to win in overtime. It's a done deal. I mean, right? And sports, unfortunately, doesn't always work that way. But you see an inspired effort, especially the way Sean Monahan played, dominated in faceoffs. He scores that goal. He points up to the banner. And the way the crowd reacted, and then the team literally an inch away from tying it up late. Chinakhov, great save by Spencer Knight. So they came awfully close, but you just wanted to see fiery, inspired effort, and we got that with the Jackets last night.
We did get that with them last night, and quite frankly, we've gotten it in all 3 games that they've played.
Yes, I agree.
They've lost 2 of the 3 games, but and I'm telling you, and you saw this team play the last couple of years. and you saw how they played. There are a lot of the same faces, but it is much different in the way they play. And it's not just playing for Johnny Gaudreau. I mean, that's a part of it. There's no doubt about it. But I think Dean Evason has really come in here and put structure in place where structure needed to be put in place. We're going to talk with Cole Sillinger here in just a couple of minutes. And he got that first goal last night. He's on the penalty kill with Kent Johnson. That just simply didn't happen in years past. And now they're both out there killing penalties together, and they combine to get a goal. So it's all what Dean has talked about throughout the training camp is you're going to get a job. And if you don't like it, change it. And you're going to get more opportunity if you do the job well. And if you don't do the job well, somebody else is going to get that opportunity. And that's what we've seen very blatantly in the first 3 games.
No question about it. And playing as more of a cohesive unit. If you watch games on TV, you see 5 blue jerseys in the picture. That's the way it should be. If you're going to play this game as a collective unit, there has to be cooperative effort. And the Jackets are doing that. I saw something just before I came down here that they're tied for 4th in 5-on-5 expected goals against. They're one of the best teams early on. I know it's so early, and you can't just judge looking at goals against as a stat by itself. And I like the analytics. I always say that it's not a math problem, but there are some important analytics to look at. And I know management and coaches in today's game definitely pay attention to it. But to see something like that they're right up there among the top defensive teams early on in expected goals against, that's encouraging to me. So I love it. I said going into last night, the 6 periods that they played, very impressive. Certainly could have won in Minnesota. Kind of got goal lead there in Minnesota with Philip Gustafsson. He was tremendous. And Spencer Knight was really good too last night, including that game-saving stop on Yegor Chinakhov. We had the view of it. He just got a piece of it with the glove. It goes off the crossbar. Sure looked like the Jackets had a tying goal there. But I like what I'm seeing. And one thing, it's just the timing of some goals against. That's like a cardinal sin in hockey. That's one little wrinkle that's got to be ironed out. The next shift after a goal, for or against, and also those last minute of a period goals. Now, it's 2 games in a row. They've given up goals in the final seconds of a period. Those are some of the things they just have to iron out because they're backbreakers. You can't give up goals. You got to be so sharp on your next shift after a goal. Florida responded, got that Kulikov goal right after the Jackets scored. And then obviously the 1 second left goal by Sam Reinhart. Those are killers. So that's just kind of those cardinal sins in hockey, right? Don't give up shorthanded goals. Don't take too many penalties. And you have to be aware of managing the time and being at your best in those key moments. And the first minute of a period, the last minute of the period definitely qualifies.
Yeah, those are 2 things that you just mentioned that are kind of the bad carryovers from last season. They had those problems last year where they gave up a quick goal after getting a goal and the late goals. Now, that being said, in last night's case, Sam Reinhart was also a man on a mission, right?
And that's he's become one of the best goal scorers in the NHL. I mean, he's on fire right now. He's fun to watch, man. Just given too much time and space. Right. I mean, there's one guy to watch last night with Tkachuk and Barkov out. It's Sam Reinhart, and they weren't quite able to neutralize him as they did in the previous game against McKinnon and Rantanen at 5-on-5 at least. So, just those little things. But that's correctable. Like, those things are correctable. And that Dean Evason, the guys know that. And those are some of the elements that if you can just eliminate those from the game, you just play a more well-rounded game in general. But I think Dean Evason, he's had a lot to like, and he deserves, as you said, a lot of credit for what he's brought in, especially on the defensive side of things. We know this team is not going to light it up offensively. They just don't have those players that are going to score 5 goals a night. So you got to be very diligent defensively, and that's what Dean Evason's preaching.
And I love that he pulled the goaltender with about 4.5 minutes left in the game.
He said that in training camp, right? He is aggressive on that. You know, I came in, I thought he's like an old school guy. It'd be like the typical 1 minute left, you're down by 1. No, he's pretty aggressive when it comes to that. We saw it in the preseason games. And why not? I think the analytics say there's something that was like, we really should do it with 7 minutes left. I don't know if you're going to do that, but we've seen Patrick Waugh do it. We've seen John Cooper is very aggressive. So I love that. Why not? If you have an offensive zone faceoff, you may not get another one. Mm-hmm. Go for it and give yourself some more time. And it almost paid off. They get that 1 goal to make it a 1-goal game from JVR. And what was it? How many 2 minutes? Yeah. 2+ minutes were left on the clock. That's an eternity to try to tie it up. And of course, they had the onslaught going, And as we've said, they came that close to tying it up. So I love that. That is a new school mentality from Dean Evason that he brings, pulling the goalie much earlier than they used to do instead of waiting for like 59 seconds when you're down by a goal. And if you're down by 2, 3, 4 minutes, maybe even more, if you have that offensive zone face-off or possession, why not?
And if you have Sean Monahan winning faceoffs like he was.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
That makes it a little bit easier to make the decision.
Going back to last year, that's an area where the Jackets had to be better. And to bring in Sean Monahan, last year I think he was 55%, one of his best faceoff years. So smart, so good. And then domination in the circle last night. And that was outstanding. I mean, just that's what I talk about with the inspired effort, not just the goal, but the way that he played and the plays he was making and winning those draws. Awesome stuff from Sean Monahan. And that's a huge asset. As a coach once said, faceoffs are important. If there's something that's happening about 60 times a game, that makes it pretty important. So you better be good at it, and the best teams usually are.
Yeah, and the Blue Jackets, as you said, are much better at it with Sean Monahan in their lineup. Well, coming up next, we're going to talk to another guy that's he's getting pretty good at faceoffs, quite frankly. He's working on it, and it shows, and his overall game just keeps on getting better. Cole Sillinger will join us as the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank continues here on 97.1 The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Looking for your next Subaru? At Byers Airport Subaru, we give you options from start to finish. Browse and shop entirely online from the comfort of your home at ColumbusSubaru.com or stop by and visit one of our friendly brand specialists just by the airport.
Right now, you can get the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester for 3.9% for up to 48 months.
Whether you prefer to click or come in, we've got you covered. Your journey starts at Byers Airport Subaru. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Subject to credit approval. Financing offer term up to 48 months on 2025 Subaru Forester. Cannot be combined with any other incentive. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/24.
There was a time where I woke up every day and my knee kept bothering me. I wondered, would it ever get better? I'd like to go out and run. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to hang out with my friends at the pool, go off the diving board, play with my kids, do the stuff that I wanted to do. I looked at having surgery, thought that's not the answer. Don't want to do that. I've had plenty of surgeries in my life. I didn't want to be on medication and just keep pounding ibuprofen and pain pills. That wasn't going to be the answer. So I want to get real, lasting relief. As thousands of patients will tell you. So I went over to QC Kinetics and talked to Dr. Ray Tesner. I even brought my dad with me and said, hey, he's got a bad knee too. He's at a little later stage in life. Could this work for him? QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in cellular therapies, including your own body's healing properties. That's what I wanted, to get healed up and do it the natural way. The choice is yours. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna, or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Bread Financial is proud to be the official financial services partner of your Columbus Blue Jackets. They provide simple, personalized payment, lending, and savings solutions. From the Bread Cashback American Express credit card to high-yield savings and CDs to buy now, make that score now, pay later options, you'll find financial solutions for your budget and your goals, hockey or otherwise. Learn more at breadfinancial.com. And let's go Blue Jackets.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Join the Blue Jackets on Friday, November 1st for First Responders Night, presented by Jets Pizza for as low as $42. Get your game ticket and an exclusive First Responders jersey. Purchase today by going to bluejackets.com/firstresponders. This is the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott. Steve Mears sitting in for Jody Shelley tonight. And we're joined right now by Cole Sillinger of the Blue Jackets, the guy that scored the first goal in the first home game of the year last night here against the Florida Panthers. But, Cole, where I want to start with you is just the entirety of last evening. I mean, you guys, you were not only here for the candlelight vigil for Johnny Gaudreau, but you were one of the players that spoke at that quite eloquently, I thought, by the way. You've gone through this pain along with your teammates. You get to training camp, you play the preseason. It's not that the pain goes away, but you've got the hockey to play. And even though there are ceremonies during the preseason, you're focused on your work. But last night, you guys knew it was all going to come down. There was going to be that wave that was going to come back over you with the pregame ceremony and with Meredith being here and Johnny's parents and his sisters and all of that. As that was going on, what went through your mind? What did you do to handle what was happening before the game even started last night?
Yeah, there was obviously a lot of emotions, like you said, not just last night, but throughout the entire process. And it was just nice to see like Meredith, Guy, Jane, the whole Gaudreau clan there. It was just having Guy on the ice, like just little things like that, like the little details that you're just trying to share your condolences with them and anything you can do to try to get their minds off of Johnny and Matthew. Then you feel like you're helping, right? So it's tough to really, pick of one thing that was going through my mind. I had a lot of thoughts, obviously, and I just tried to, always remind myself what would Johnny do in this situation, and take a couple deep breaths. And but with that being said, also, think back to some great memories that we've had together, and acknowledge, our friendship.
Was it? How did it affect you? I thought the video was amazing. I really did, and it was Johnny Gaudreau telling his story of being a hockey player, of being a husband, of being a dad. I thought it was really, really unique. And I'm going to be honest for you, I wasn't quite ready for it. I mean, did you guys know what was going to happen there?
We watched the video the day before in our locker room, and then we were told what was going to transpire at the puck drop and all that. So we were a little prepared, but each time you watch that video, it certainly hits home.
The fact that you got the first goal in that game, and Kent Johnson gives you a great feed on the penalty kill, shorthanded. You talked about trying to think, what would Johnny do? I mean, now here you are, breakaway. I don't know if any of that's going through your mind, or you're just trying to get the job done right there. But quite frankly, Cole, that's exactly what Johnny would have done.
Yeah, absolutely. He would have put that top cheese. So, yeah, I just KJ made a great play and sprung me for a B-way, and I was left with the easy part, and that was to put in the net. And I knew Monty was going to get one that game. It was just a matter of when, and seeing his celebration and just kind of that grin on his face, and it's just inspiring to see a guy like Monty obviously go through this, and just to see how he's dealing with it is you learn a lot from it.
Some nice backhand sauce by KJ there, is right? You knew that was coming right to the tape, right?
It's not surprising. He likes the backhand sauce.
Tell me about the element of surprise there. You're coming in, the release point, and trying to beat that goaltender. You go top shelf. How important is it just to catch him off guard and get that shot up quickly?
Yeah, I just tried to shoot it in stride. I knew I had some pressure behind me. It was actually Boki, former Blue Jacket.
Yeah.
So I think there was
no wonder you speed it up.
There's a couple different spots. I think I could have shot the puck, but I was coming down kind of on my offside, and I wasn't straight on with the goalie, but I was a little bit on the right hand side. So I knew if I was to pull it to my forehand and then have that short side, maybe I'd get the goalie to bait to down low and then leave that up top open, and it worked.
First career shorty. Congratulations.
Shorty, yeah, thank you. Yeah. I didn't even realize it was a shorty until after.
Yeah. I'm just amazed by you guys, everybody refocusing. You were out there too for the 13 seconds off the clock. How did you do it? You're starting a game with tears in your eyes. How did you do it and flip the switch, and all of a sudden you got to play a really meaningful hockey game?
Yeah, I think it was just transitioning the emotion into, both emotion and anger and everything that, we're all feeling into it. Just, again, what would Johnny do? And he would want us to go out there and play and battle and compete. And, hockey's for me, it's like my safe space. Anytime I'm playing hockey, practicing, playing games, it's everything else in my mind just goes out and just focusing on, playing hockey and playing the game that I love. And, it's a good getaway for all of us to be together, to be here on the rink, and to share stories of Johnny, and just to honor him in those little ways.
Cole, this summer you were a restricted free agent. You had to get a new contract. First time in your pro career that you're going through that. What was that experience like for you? Just you're going to get a deal, but it's about what kind of a deal, what's the length of the term going to be, what's the money going to be, all that stuff, things that you haven't had to deal with before. What was that entire process like for you?
It was pretty interesting, honestly. It was, I left all that good stuff up to my agent. We had a busy summer, right? We had a lot of guys to get signed. We had, coaches and GMs to get hired. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I was just trying to be as patient as I can, and I feel like over the past 3 years I've been a little inconsistent, and know I have a lot more in me and can prove it more. So I think this deal allows that, and I think it's a good deal for both sides. And but yeah, it was pretty interesting to see the different values of where we see ourselves and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it was good to lock in a 2-year deal, and obviously want to be here a lot longer than that. But for now, that's what we got in place.
And you knew that it was going to be a new GM because that change was made before the season was over. So I know you're just finishing out the season, but I didn't know if you wondered how maybe that was going to change things for you at all.
Yeah, I didn't really know, honestly. I just tried not to worry about that, and just tried to worry about playing hockey, and then in the summer just training and giving myself the best opportunity for hopefully a big season.
You said you've been a little bit inconsistent those first 3 years. I don't think that's quite fair. I thought you were great in that rookie year. Maybe there were setbacks in the second year there, but I thought last year you really started to come on again and do the things that you had to do. And I don't know what you did this summer, man, but you are, besides a new contract, you're like a new guy. I mean, you've been noticeable ever since the first preseason game that you played. Was there just more concentration of anything this summer, or is it just simply you're maturing as an NHL player?
I think a little bit of everything, and I mean, when I say inconsistent there, Bob, I mean just with opportunities and stuff like that too. Not just with my play, but just really never having a solidified role. So that's what I mean when it comes to that. But yeah, I think that it was just a lot of everything. I think just focusing on some details a little more and believe in my abilities a little bit more, and just kind of finding out who I am as a person more, and letting that translate on the ice, and not being so caught up or worried about what anyone else is doing. And not that I really was ever, but it's sure slips in your mind when you get to camp or you're through the season, you're going through adversity, you're like, did I do the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Like, do I need to switch things up? Like, I think having that mentality is good, right? To always be curious and never be complacent, and to take qualities that guys have over here and here and here, and try to add it to your own toolbox. But I think for me, it's just coming in, knowing that I'm prepared, and just poised, to take the next step, as all of our young guys do, to for this team to take the next step.
There's one of those tools I wanted to ask you about, and that's face-offs. And I know you've answered 1,000 questions about your dad, but he was so good at it. What's something specific that he told you about regarding face-offs that you can apply to your game?
I think, for me, that's something I certainly need to get better at, and can utilize him, a lot more maybe than I have been even as well. But I think the biggest advice that he gives me is that it's the first 50-50 battle. And, if you start with the puck, it's a key thing. So going into every draw, even if, maybe you're on your weak side or something like that, making it hard on the other guy, and making it, his mindset be like, I don't want to take another face-off against this guy if you're having a bad night. And then obviously if you're having a good night, winning them, you're feeling good, then you can kind of, play the tricks on him. Maybe you go under stick, you go over a stick, you can, play mind games with him, and, because that sure frustrates a guy.
Oh, yeah, you went head-to-head. I want to go back to going head-to-head against Nathan MacKinnon, because you and your line mates on Saturday night, head-to-head, that was the matchup, you guys against MacKinnon and Rantanen. First of all, when do you know that I talked to KJ, actually, and he said you guys chatted a little bit that could have been the matchup, and it ends up being that, and you guys get the upper hand. So when do you realize that, okay, we're going head-to-head against one of the best?
I think it's one of those things that you want to do, right? You want to play against those guys, and to see what you've got. And KJ's great. He's always just like, maybe we get these guys tonight, eh? Like, just little things like that. But when you're in the moment, you're not really thinking about who you're going against. Obviously, you're aware of who's on the ice, and what you got to do to accomplish the overall goal, and that's to win hockey games. So maybe some puck decisions you're a little smarter with when those guys are out there. But with that being said, like, you want those guys to not want to play against you, right? Just like in the face-off thing. So also trying to control the game, get some ozone time, get some ozone shifts, make those top players play some defense, and maybe it starts to frustrate them a little more too. So it's both sides with being smart and also playing your game and what gives you confidence and gets you rolling.
MacKinnon's the dog. I mean, like, everybody knows about him. How aware did you have to be of Rantanen too as a threat out there?
Yeah, and Makar,
of course,
they're all out there together, which is funny. It's like never, when MacKinnon's on the ice, Makar is always on the ice too. It's
That's true.
That transition there. So, each time I play like Rantanen, he's bigger and stronger than I always thought he was. Right, like over another summer goes by, and he's started the year off with a hat trick, I think. So he's a phenomenal player. Our team is a really good team. So it was nice for us to go in their building for their home opener and get a big win.
We're talking with Cole Sillinger tonight here on The Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. The conversation continues after this on 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and if you're like me, you're either suffering with foot pain or expecting it to come back at any time. If you're also like me, you probably go for the easiest, most convenient solution first, the old drugstore insoles. And then you find out you can't Band-Aid foot pain. I would go out to a bar or restaurant, and I'm the guy searching for the place to sit down. I've actually gotten rid of shoes I like because my feet still hurt. Well, it all changed when I went to the Good Feet store and tried their pain relief solution. Align the feet, align the body. My personally fit Good Feet store arch supports help place my feet in their ideal position. They now distribute the pressure evenly across my feet, and that provided the additional stability and balance, and that has taken care of my pain. Go in, try the Good Feet feeling today. Take a free test walk. Bring your own shoes. See how they fit, because you deserve comfort in your life. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road.
From the mind of a 2-foot-tall talking spokes puppet comes this year's biggest challenge. It's time for Bob's Dare to Compare, the hottest game show on TV that asks, what happens when you compare Bob's to the competition? You get style. You get quality. You get beeps and boops and dings and whomps. And thousands of dollars in savings. Everyone's a winner when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture. Shop in store or at mybobs.com to play now.
Scotty Vegas for Maxima Concrete. From a basic driveway replacement to a complex in-ground pool, patio, or outdoor kitchen installation, Maxima can do it all. Broom finish, stamped and colored, or exposed aggregate concrete, pavers, fire pits, seating walls, even lighting. Maxima is all in-house. Never any subs, so hire the guys that'll actually perform the work. Mention this ad for $250 off your next project. Still plenty of time left this season, so get a free estimate today by visiting MaximaConcrete.com.
The Jackets are back in Nationwide for a battle with the Sabres. Live fan coverage starts Thursday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your flagship home for Blue Jackets hockey. The Fan.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Integrity, honesty, and quality. Words we live by here at Monogram Homes. Hi, this is Dina. And at Monogram Homes, we strive to bring your wants to your man cave, your needs to your kitchen, and your ideas to life. Most home builders claim to be custom, but starting with stock floor plans and templates isn't our idea of a tailored experience. At Monogram Homes, we start with a blank slate and work with you until you get exactly what you want. So start your true custom home journey today with a builder you can trust. Monogram Homes. Visit us online at monogramhomes.net.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dorn, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil.
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Can't get enough Blue Jackets conversation? Good news. It's Hockey O'Clock. It's the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We're talking with Cole Sillinger tonight here on the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. You were talking about playing against Nathan MacKinnon, and I remember talking to you a couple of years ago when you were going to play against Connor McDavid and when you were going to play against Sidney Crosby, and you were the young rookie that was going to go up against guys that you had watched on TV, and McKinnon would fall into that same category, obviously. So for you, it just goes back to what we talked about earlier, right? you're maturing as a player, whereas at one point in time, maybe you could be starstruck at one moment. I don't know, maybe you still can, but I'll tell you this, if you still can, it doesn't show in the way that you play.
Whenever you play those top guys, you're always, well, for me, I'll speak for myself. I'm always like, this is cool. Like, you get to play the best players in the world. You see the highlights they do on every single night, and you see, kind of their resumes in the past and Olympics and all these stuff. So when you're going up against a guy like that, it's just like, you want to see where you're at. You want to, not want to compare, but you want to, put your best foot forward and try to have a great game. And, when you're playing those players, there's not a lack of motivation.
No, I'm sure there's no lack whatsoever of the motivation there. We've talked about Kent Johnson a little bit. Tell me about him as a line mate, because you guys have instant chemistry. We saw that in your goal last night, but that's been something between you and him. What makes you guys click so well?
Honestly, I think it's just wanting to find each other and wanting it for each other a lot. We want, just as he wants to be a really good player, just as I wanted him to be as good. I know how good he is. I know how how hard he works and how hard he trains and vice versa, right? So I think just having that in the back of our minds helps, and then also just with his ability to see the ice and maybe my ability to try to work down low and spin off some guys and find him in some open areas. Obviously, when he has some time and space, he does his KJ things and all that good stuff. And I just always got to be ready for the puck to come to me, and then if I have the opportunity to find him back or whatever it is. So it's been going good right now. We got to keep it going.
All right, I had you and Kent Johnson together on my bingo card at the beginning of the year. What I didn't have, and I don't know about you, Steve, is Mikhail Putia being on your line and playing with you guys. But this guy's pretty darn impressive. I mean, he's the kind of guy that he doesn't stand out with flashy plays, but how many things does he do throughout a game that just makes your life so much easier?
He doesn't get enough credit right now. I feel like a lot of people are talking about KJ and I when it comes to that line, but the amount of little details that he does, whether that's just getting the puck and taking it to the middle and allowing maybe KJ and I to get on the outside for that next play, just little details that give us time and space and give guys like KJ and I more time and space when we have the puck. He sees the ice very well. He's, I think, way more skilled than what people think. And I know that deep down he wants to prove more. He wants to show more. He really wants it as well. So working with him, he's a great dude and a great player.
I love going off the beaten path. I love talking shop too, but I like to go off the beaten path. And I've got to mention that. So we're in Denver, and we run into each other in the elevator. Right, we're both going to dinner, as you remember. And you asked me where I was going, and I said it was a Vietnamese restaurant, and that really piqued your interest. You're like, like you said, you like Vietnamese food, and I thought that spoke a lot about you because everybody on the road, the hockey players, like you go to your chicken parm, you go to the steakhouse, but you seem to have a pretty wide range as far as your palate. So what kind of places are you going to on the road when you're going out to dinner?
I go to anything. I try to switch it up, like depending where we are. If we're in Vancouver, Seattle, like I'll try to go to like a nice sushi or something like that. But yeah, I don't really have like a routine. Like if we play the night before and I, decide to have a steak, I'll decide to have a steak. It just kind of happens in the moment. I don't really plan ahead, and I also try to I'm not superstitious when it comes to that. Like say I have a steak and we play the next night and we have a win and have a good game, it wasn't the steak. The next night I'll get completely different meal. It doesn't matter. That's the one thing I try to do. I try to tell myself it wasn't the steak or it wasn't the sushi or Vietnamese, whatever it is. Right?
See, that's what Steve does. It was whatever he had the night before.
Got to stick with. I just stick with what's good. And that place, by the way, was unbelievable in Denver. So I think that's awesome. What else do you like to do? You're on the road. Maybe you're on the plane. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to play cards on the plane, on the road. I love hitting up the spas at the hotel, especially if there's a nice one. Go for a steamer, sauna, maybe jump in the hot tub. usually do that, go for a walk, a lot of walks, maybe some shopping, check out some different places or restaurants, all that stuff, and just enjoy my teammates, spend time with my teammates. It's a unique time for us where we're all together, and here in Columbus, guys have their kids or girlfriends or wives and their other priorities, and not that we don't hang out here, but on the road, we're all together. When you see going out to dinner, there's 8 of us here, 6 of us here, 4 of us here, and then either before we can all meet up after, just the stuff like that. And it's super quality time.
Cold plunge too?
I do like the cold plunge.
Yeah. Don't you feel like you could flip a car after that?
I know, it's like having a coffee.
Energizes you. It's unbelievable. And Bob, I'm sure you've heard, when I started, Mike Sillinger, I remember this guy running around Nassau Coliseum as a little kid, and his brothers. So this is the ultimate thing to make me feel old. Is I called Mike Sillinger, starting when I was 26, calling Mike Sillinger's name. He had a great year. We talked about it before. He had a great year, one of his best with the New York Islanders, and wrapped up there on Long Island. And now I'm calling Cole Sillinger's name. I feel like I'm 100 years old.
Well, you still look great, especially on radio.
It's the makeup.
On radio,
it's 10 layers of makeup.
One last thing I want to ask you: when you're doing all that stuff, who are your closest teammates? Who do you like to hang out with the most, or you just rotate?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I'm not going to say one particular guy.
You're like a coach now. I don't want to talk about one guy in particular.
No, obviously we have a young crew like KJ Fance, all the young guys that I like hanging out with. Curls, obviously you guys know that him and I are really tight. But I've really enjoyed to get to know our new guys, obviously too, like JVR, JJ. Monty. So we have a lot of great personalities in the locker room, and whoever I'm hanging out with is super quality time.
You talked about how fun it is to go on the road and see those guys. Last year, we didn't have any real road trips until late in the year, and the die was already cast on the season. Are you excited that you already started on the road for a couple of games? California trips coming up in November. I mean, some of these big ones with this group in particular, you're going to have early in the year this year.
Mm-hmm. I really like how the season's structured this year for us. Like you said, we start the year on the road in Minnie, where Dean used to coach, and then we go to Colorado, and then we have a good homestand here for everyone's families and whatnot to come into town. And then, we get on the road. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We got, some games at home to take care of and get that business done. And then we'll worry about those games when they come.
I know, but we all look.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah, the first thing we do.
Yeah,
in July, the first thing you do is
which
you look
one
at
has
the
the
road
best sauna, right? We got to find out which has the best sauna. At least 190, 200, right? I'll see you in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew we would talk about food with this guy. I didn't know we were going to get into the saunas. So
Oh, yeah. You have to. It's so good for you, right? I mean, in all seriousness, it's so good. Immune system, your mood, everything. It's a big part of it.
It's just a good reset.
Maybe this is what I'm missing in my life. Maybe it is. I may have learned something on this show from you, too.
Yeah. Think about it. When are you in a room with no phone, no windows, no noise, and you just sit there and you decompress and you just relax, and the music's going, and obviously the heat's good for you too, but it's just good. It's good therapy, isn't it?
That's why I think I like those kind of things so much, is because we play such a high pace thing, and we're always go all the time, and if it's not on the ice, it's in the gym, or just racing to the plane, on the plane. So just a good me time, just for me to think about my thoughts and just to have a reset.
All right.
True.
You guys sold me.
All right, Bob's in.
There we are.
We'll see you in California. At least 190, 200.
All right. I'll follow your lead, and then I'll find out
20
if
minutes,
that's
20
good
minutes,
or not.
30.
Okay. Cole, thank you so much. We really appreciate you sitting down, taking some time for us today. Hey, congratulations on a great start to the season, and best of luck as we roll along here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Cole.
Appreciate it.
All right. That is Cole Sillinger of the Blue Jackets. Stay tuned. We'll be back to wrap up this week's edition of the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and fall is in the air, and that really gets me going for a delicious, savory breakfast like the Bob Evans new value menu with a whole lot of fresh breakfast options for just $5.99. I love the new griddle stacker with a sausage patty, American cheese, bacon, and a fried egg. But get this, 3 mini hot cakes. You're going to love it too. Here's the best part, the price. It's right in your wheelhouse. It's in my wheelhouse. It's starting at only $7.99. Stacked high and price low. Check them out at bobevans.com or on the new mobile app.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Just got a free coffee with my Earnify points.
Your what?
The points I get with the new Earnify app from BP and Amoco. I got $250 for signing up and more every time I fill up or buy anything in the C-store.
Oh, can you use points for fuel?
Of course.
And discounts and deals?
On anything.
Oh, like chips?
Mm-hmm.
Sodas?
You got it.
The actual slushie machine.
Only what's actually for sale. But you do get double the points for the first 90 days. Just go to EarnifyRewards.com to download the app.
Available at participating locations only. App content is subject to change.
Football season is here, and we have so much stuff. One station isn't enough. Find even more Pigskin on ESPN Columbus.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2, or listen on the Fan app.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
When you have a cracked windshield, who can you trust? Choose the auto glass experts at Safelite. We make it so easy, you can schedule at safelight.com. With our state-of-the-art technology, we can replace your windshield and recalibrate your car's advanced safety system to get you back on the road safely. Schedule now at safelight.com. Go ahead, play that jingle.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you.
At your Central Ohio Chevy dealers. Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
All Blue Jackets, all the time. This is the Inside Edge with Jody Shelley and Bob McElligott. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Don't miss Kids Opening Night this Saturday, presented by COSI. Arrive early for a plaza party that includes music, games, and your favorite Blue Jackets walking the blue carpet. Plus, Stinger has invited some of his friends to join the party. Get your tickets to see your Jackets face off against the Minnesota Wild at BlueJackets.com. Bob McElligott and Steve Mears back with you here on the Inside Edge. Jody Shelley is getting a pre-scout on the Buffalo Sabres because he's in Pittsburgh tonight where they are playing the Penguins. They'll be here to take on the Blue Jackets tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Steve, So far this year, the Blue Jackets played well. We talked about that earlier in the show. They did have a goal waved off in Minnesota. James Van Riemsdyk would have 2 right now, but he had a power play goal waved off because of goalie interference. It's one that whenever they send it to review, I think it's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. What do you think about goalie interference?
Is this the soapbox portion of the show where I can rant and rave about?
We'll just call this Steve's soapbox, right?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to hear at every show. No, but this is a topic that does get a lot of airtime around the league. And yes, we had the play in Minnesota. I actually thought that was a decent call, and James Van Riemsdyk even agreed with me that he was in the crease. And we should set it up that the determining factor is in the crease. That is the goalie's area. If the skater is in the crease and especially is not allowing the goalie to do his job, then it should be no goal. And I'm cool with that. And James Van Riemsdyk said as much for that one. A little too much blue paint and some contact with Gustafsson in the opener on Thursday, and it was no goal. I was cool with that. Over the weekend, Corey Perry, I know it's him. And he has plenty of.
I love how you have to qualify.
Yeah, he has plenty of transgressions, and he has the reputation and everything. He's standing in the crease with almost with actually zero contact with the goaltender, and they take a goal off the board, which I thought we didn't want to do. It used to be. It seems like it has changed. It used to be when coaches' challenges began. It was the egregious contact with the goalie. If the puck's coming glove side and you hit his glove and it goes by and into the net, that should be no goal because that's clearly interfering with the goaltender. Now it seems like we are going down a very Brett Hull-like road where it's any presence at all in the crease, even if you don't touch the goaltender, and goals are being taken off the board. And I think we are going down a very slippery slope, and I hope it doesn't show or rear its ugly head in like a game 7 of a playoff series, or as it did with the old skate in the crease. For those of you who don't know, the younger fans, the Brett Hull and in Buffalo at the Dallas Stars. I think there's something to be said for goalies, and John Cooper didn't articulate this well in the playoffs last year, but his point was goalies, there has to be some level of battle for space and maybe even a slight amount of contact for goaltenders in that position. So it seems like now the standard has changed where it's any amount of presence in the crease, and goalies are complaining, and then coaches are challenging, and goals are being taken off the board, which I think would be the last thing that we want to do. So I'm just worried that we are going down that road, which is very similar to the 90s. And if you're in the crease, all of a sudden, no goal. I think there should be some amount of battle level that goaltenders have to do, even at the edge of the crease, to make a save. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you on everything that you said, but the one thing I'm wondering while listening to you say that is this just beginning of the year and officials being overly cautious on this, even review officials in the war room in Toronto? Or are they looking at it a little bit differently? A month from now, will the call be the same as it is today?
Yeah, well, how about in the playoffs? I mean, is the standard going to continue? I was asking this question last year because there were a couple. I remember there was an Ovechkin goal that was taken off the board against Nashville with very little contact, if any at all, against the Predators goaltender. And so I was asking myself, and we're all trying to, I keep an eye on these things because we're doing broadcasts, and you want to be in the know when these things pop up in the course of a game. And I do also understand that there is a degree of subjectivity with these calls. It's not like the offside calls, which are way more concrete, way more black and white. So I get that. But I do think that you have to have a goaltender who's fighting for a little bit of space. And if there is a little bit of incidental contact, as long as it's not impairing the goaltender from doing his job, then I think the goal should stay on the board. So I'm not talking about the JVR play. I like that one. I'm cool with, even though it was somewhat borderline, but even he agreed. A little too much in the crease and some contact there. But if you go back and you watch this Corey Perry goal, that is making me wonder, like, are we taking goals off the board now if you have anything in the blue paint? And to me, that's going to be a problem down the road.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
All right, that is Steve Mears. You can catch him tomorrow night on Bally Sports when the Blue Jackets take on the Buffalo Sabres at 7 o'clock. I, of course, will be with you right here on The Fan tomorrow night for that game. Thanks to Cole Sillinger for joining us tonight. That'll do it for the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Dorn, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil?
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and if you're like me, you're either suffering with foot pain or expecting it to come back at any time. If you're also like me, you probably go for the easiest, most convenient solution first, the old drugstore insoles. And then you find out you can't Band-Aid foot pain. I would go out to a bar or restaurant, and I'm the guy searching for the place to sit down. I've actually gotten rid of shoes I like because my feet still hurt. Well, it all changed when I went to the Good Feet store and tried their pain relief solution. Align the feet, align the body. My personally fit Good Feet store arch supports help place my feet in their ideal position. They now distribute the pressure evenly across my feet, and that provided the additional stability and balance, and that has taken care of my pain. Go in, try the Good Feet feeling today. Take a free test walk. Bring your own shoes. See how they fit, because you deserve comfort in your life. The Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.